And we are live.
Oh,
Hello,
God,
everybody.
run. Yes, so as I was saying, this gentleman was basically sharing his love of French food and French cuisine and how wonderful the French are in true Napoleonic fashion, as you
How
put it.
wonderful the French are. Is that what you said?
Exactly, yes. And he basically sent a photograph of a pizza with a fried egg on it.
Oh.
Now, I've never even known that, but apparently it's a thing.
You sent me a video, Tim.
I have a key question here. Pineapple on pizza. Yes.
Oh, pineapple. No, we're going on about pineapple. That's an old one now, Denise. Come on.
No, I'm asking you. I'm not telling you. I'm asking.
What's the
Americans
question?
like it, Europeans do not. Pineapple on pizza?
I
think
used
it's
to
an
hate
abomination.
it. Yeah, I used to hate it. When I arrived in Australia and I was offered that, I thought, what the hell is wrong with you? Pineapple on the pizza? Are you mad? But now I just eat it.
I actually
It's
tried
delicious.
a pizza that had sweet plantains on it and like
Oh, that could be
a
good.
bunch of other crap. No, it was horrible. It's not pizza.
Oh.
Plantain? That's like a banana. That's like a
Wait
banana.
till
isn't
you,
it?
wait till you
banana.
hear about Cece's Pizza. They have mac and cheese pizza. They have their famous chocolate pizza, which is my favorite. It's cheese pizza with just a shit ton of chocolate. And yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
so Pris complained to me tonight when we got here because we usually have a nice little buffet laid out for everybody at the back of the yacht here, and Pris complained to me that she's sick of seeing the same thing week after week after week. So we want to change it, and we started flicking through some of the options on this one. As soon as Pris saw the pizza, she said, "I've got to have the pizza." So here we are with pizza. So Pris has gone from being the lady about town to suddenly eating cheap bad beer and pizza. I guess. I'm not sure if it's her Australian roots or sort of her French roots or the Australian influence or what it is. Just before she went live, we actually heard some sirens going in the background, so we have no idea what's going on in Pris's world.
Oh, they're trying to find her. They're coming.
actually, last night I had a tiramisu, which is my favorite.
Sorry, I can't hear what you guys are saying because you all keep talking at once. Sorry.
Okay, never mind. All right, what's the topic of the day? Who is here today?
Topic of the day. Well, who have we got online? Is anybody out there? Things. Oh, Denise.
Who is uncivilized?
Still recovering from the talk about pineapple on pizza that we had just as we were going live. Yeah, and what an abomination it can be.
Everybody's probably busy shopping. Last minute.
They probably are.
Black Friday shopping.
Well, it says 8 waiting. Why does it say they're waiting?
Well, there's 6 people watching right now. You need to update it.
Yeah, but it's probably 5. With 5 people, it's probably 5 of us. We're watching ourselves.
6 watching now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of wacky, really, when we spend time looking at ourselves, isn't it? But then it's probably because we're just basically, we're keeping an eye on what's coming out on the YouTube in case anybody wants to talk to us. Heaven forbid. Hey, Cloudy's there. Yes.
Cloudy. Hi, Tank.
Personally, love meat, love a pizza.
Yeah. Still, congratulations there, Clowny. I'm not going to say what it's for. I'll let you break the news at some point at a time of your choosing.
Sorry, I couldn't be there.
It was emotional. So yeah.
Yeah. Are we talking about Clowny's wedding?
I wasn't gonna say the word, Pris. You just given the game away now.
Breaking James' heart.
Yeah, Kimmy, yeah. Maybe we should wait for James. Is James on today? To break the news of Kimmy getting married.
Yeah, Kimmy got married, and yeah.
I mean, they
Did
were
you catch
going,
the boat?
they were going to elope, and I stopped that.
It was the
Managed
best
a
wedding.
5 minutes on the fly
As,
wedding.
as Pris kept constantly saying through the whole thing, she kept saying, "This is the best wedding ever." So we thought, oh yeah,
It
was.
was
I
like
couldn't stop laughing, but yeah,
for a 5 minute wedding. Like, I mean, it took probably half an hour to set up.
yeah.
I mean, it took much longer. I think it took days for me to set up my own venue, and
Yeah.
we didn't end up doing it in the end, and it wasn't even fully done. It was very pretty,
Yeah.
very simple, very beautiful, and Kimmy looks
Was.
matching in that dress as well. But yeah,
So Andy, I got Cat's bouquet. Did you catch the bouquet last night? The other night?
I'm not allowed to say. It was
allowed
meant. No. I'm being completely honest. One of the things that Clowny did say is, "Do not tell them," and I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to leave that to Clowny.
Whether you caught the bouquet first?
I'm not going to say a word.
no,
Clara,
Clara, sorry, I called the bouquet. Okay, so apparently I'm getting married before
Well,
you.
you can't catch them. You can't get married, Pris. You're married already. What's up with you?
I'm partnered.
Supposed to-
I'm not married. I
You're
didn't
supposed to
go
catch
through the
my
wedding thing.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Can you
Okay.
just marry me already, please?
It was fun though. I mean, I guess you should have known something was going to happen when you go to a wedding with a clown. But yeah,
Yeah, you were beautiful too, Kat. Yes.
we were crying with laughter in some points in that thing last night. I must admit. Oh,
It was fun. It was fun. We should do a wedding like this. Who else
so
wants to get married? Denise, your turn.
because Clara has been begging me to show some of the pictures of some of the things that actually happened at this.
Yeah.
I don't want to push you guys, but I know you're
Yeah.
going to do something at some point. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. People want to, inquiring minds are wanting to know. That's all.
Yeah, I know, but unfortunately, it's very big.
So for the wedding video, what's the soundtrack?
Go there.
They did have what was this? What was the music? I don't know. I didn't know any of them, so I don't know what they were talking about. What was the music?
I think one of them. Clowny at one point was singing "Don't You Forget About Me," and there was another one. There was talk of the Titanic theme tune at one point. But I
was
can't.
karaoke.
I can't. I didn't say we were singing along. I was simply saying what the music was. So yeah, you'll just have to wait and see. I'm sorry. I can't say any more than that.
Oh,
gosh. Clowny, you were beautiful, mate. I mean, the those went so well with the flip flops, and the suit was just wonderful. So yeah, what can I say?
Billy Idol, that's the one. White wedding.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she was wearing a white dress.
Day for a white wedding. Nice day to start again.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, can you believe that we are
Clara, you sound so drunk when you're singing that, and really, you're not drunk at the moment. I know that for a fact. So that's a bit weird. But anyway.
You don't know me. You don't know my life.
Yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. News from the far side. This is what's happening in Second Life this week, according to my co-pilot that's out there. My co-pilot tells me that the key updates are out there. The recent features, the spotlight on creators, has highlighted artists like Huckleberry Hacks, known for his novels and Machinima, and Izzy Button on their innovative avatar modification. Now, that sounds really kinky from some perspectives. I'm not going to go there, but anyway. Then we've got the
Sounds pretty cool. Do you know what it is, Andy?
I don't want to even think about it. But so yeah, I'm just simply saying what it's telling me. So yeah, we've also got the Second Life University reboot, um, which is basically a new series. It's helping the residents get started with avatars and Project Zero. I have to say, we've actually seen this in a aforementioned club that I hang around in quite regularly, because people keep saying, "Do you know, there's a whole lot of people coming in. They must be copybots because they all look the same." And we say, really? It's not that. It's because they've all got these newer avatars. And they say, yes, they say, she looks the same as that lady, and that lady looks the same as the one that came before, and that one looks the same as. Yes, they're all wearing the standard new avatars. And this is the thing. It's just quite funny. So we've had that. Then what else we got? Oh yes, so yes, we've still got fixes coming out from the YouTube embeds issue. So whether or not they've actually fixed that or not, I don't know yet. Open to anyone correcting us as to, as undoubtedly someone will, as to whether or not they've actually managed to fix these things yet. Yeah, we've got the exclusive quarterly items now available for Plus, Premium, and Premium Plus members. Wow.
It's been out for a while. Copilot is a little bit outdated.
I know. So there we go. We've got. Sorry, I'm just reacting to a comment which I've just seen in local on the YouTube feed right now. Kimmy says that she's pure. Kimmy, last night was your wedding night. You cannot be pure. Well, you can be pure, but you probably rather you weren't. Pris almost choked up.
I hope we're not going back to the BDSM part like last week.
I don't know about BDSM. I'm just simply saying, if it's your wedding night, then generally you don't sit and go watching, I don't know, Tiny Tots Tea Time, Toy Time. You go and tend to do something.
We fell asleep. We didn't do shit. We fell asleep.
Well, most people do. I guess most people do end up falling asleep at some point, but I'm simply saying before they fall asleep.
No, he didn't want to. Some people don't do it after the wedding.
Yeah. Clara, we don't really need to know what happened in your real life situation. Okay.
Wow.
This doesn't bode well for the future. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Well, we did the worst later, so.
Okay.
Okay. We've got. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a point. Yeah, Pris only had Pris only did have PG footage. This is true. There was a one.
Excuse me, you didn't go into my bedroom, obviously.
Yeah.
You were on the beach.
We were on the beach. We had the one hell of a crowd watching. They were jumping up and down there.
The timing was very eerie for the cat, like crying out when you said that.
There was a whole bunch of people. There was a whole bunch of people jumping up and down and screaming and shouting when the wedding was going on. I mean, no one actually objected when we got to that one golden moment. Apart from I had a bit of a cough, in particular in my throat, but that's a different story. Yeah, they were also jumping up and down. As I did comment at the time, there was a couple of old geriatrics at the back looked as if Australia had won the Ashes, but I don't know. That probably doesn't mean anything. Apart from maybe Chris and a few people in Australia. So yeah. Yeah, that's a cricket thing. You probably guys don't know much about cricket. So,
No, I know nothing about cricket.
Right. Okay. Well, you're pardoned. Right. So, Holiday Shop and Hop 2025. We're hoping everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, we're giving thanks for the fact that you're still with us. If you're still with us, if you're not with us, then where the bloody hell are you? And yes, and we hope that you have some great times at the moment. And we're hoping that you're all having a fantastic time with the Black Friday sales, which are going on right now. And I know they're going on right now because I keep getting a message from people telling me I need to buy a new dress and stuff like this, which is quite amazing because
They're telling you to buy a dress, Andy?
Well, this harks back to the spam that I keep getting from these designer stores that just assume that I want to keep buying, and they don't actually seem to have realised the fact that I'm a man. Which is kind of disconcerting, really.
I don't think it's realized. I think it's care.
They want me to wear like a reborn avatar. They want me to wear a dress. They want me to wear new heels. They want me to wear all sorts of crazy things, which I'll look really, really weird in.
So actually, some dresses do come for legacy mail now. We're in 2025, Andy.
I really don't want to go there. So let's move swiftly on from that, shall we? So yes, we've got
what Denise sent me the other night.
Right, was it anything to do with transvestites or anything like that?
It was a very cute, very sexy, very skimpy made outfit with no chest coverage. on a man.
Well, I'm sure that's going to particularly not work for me, but we'll see what happens.
You want to
Then
clean
we've
the
got
floors, baby.
right events and community buzz. Well, okay, we've got some stuff going on right now. We've got the Goth Core event, which is looking out there. If you're into wearing black and design, as people have been for the last 40 odd years, it's out there. You too can wear something in black. That's all going on. The dark fashion and design is all there at Goth Core. We've got the Girl Code event, which is focused on feminine power and authentic
Hi,
expression.
Tink.
None of which I know anything about from my point of view, but there we go. We've got the Steampunk Santa Serenade, which is a whole festive Mashimina music event by Carl Paris. That's out there as well. So if steampunk is your style and wearing moustaches and stuff is where was that? There was a state I saw in the United States that someone posted locally in the chat that we had earlier tonight, saying that apparently it's banned to have it's banned to have a moustache in. Was it Alabama? You banned to have a moustache in.
I don't know. There's no keeping track of those. America has hundreds of silly laws that all have specific stories that everyone ignores because they're so specific.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I kept thinking to myself, if we're all following the rules in that basically we've got in Second Life, and we therefore all got to follow what's going on in the United States. For one, why the hell didn't I get the day off when it was Thanksgiving this week, which is another story. But secondly, have we all got to follow these crazy laws?
No,
It was quite bizarre.
no. All those laws are like technically they're still in place, but only because no one has touched them, and no one has touched them because everyone's forgotten them. Everyone ignores them. They don't apply to like anything except the one situation that they were made for.
Yeah.
And it's all over. It's in every state. There's a few of these laws in every state. You can actually spend a fun afternoon looking them all up. But yeah.
So there we go. And the final thing that my co-pilot's telling me is, yes, the syndicate reports dozens of in-world store sales from fashion to fantasy builds. You name it, they've got it. Something's going to be going cheap. So pile it high and fill your boots, guys, before it's gone. So yeah, hoping everyone has a great time out there. In terms of what you're doing.
Okay,
Welcome,
so
George. Good to see you here.
Somebody new. Hi, are you on voice?
He's on voice, but he's not saying anything.
Or he's just listening? Chat.
That's fair enough. So yeah. Oh, he's typing. Hello, George. Good to see you. You can speak.
You can speak or type. It's all
everything you say is purely in confidence. It's just you and us.
Same, George. I'm not doing any of the shopping.
And everybody else that's watching and either recording or watching us live on YouTube right now. So it's just between us, you know?
Just between us.
Yeah, the Black Friday sales have been a problem.
Why?
Too much stuff to buy.
I don't know. I own everything that I want. So that's...
Well, yeah, you've been here like 20 years, but it's my first Black Friday.
Oh, true.
Yeah, like when I joined, there were some sales, right, for like Valentine's or whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, this has been the first time that, I've been in Second Life for Black Friday.
Yeah, so what, you want to buy everything?
Well, at least some of the stuff that I've been holding off on buying because it's too expensive,
Yeah.
So it's been a temptation, but I've managed to not spend all of my Linden. I still have some on reserve because, as I told you, I'm trying to buy some land. So it's like the worst timing ever because I'm waiting for a response back from Linden Lab. I need to have the Linden handy because they say if you don't act within 48 hours, then you lose it. But it's like, I have stuff to spend the Linden on, so I've been kind of sitting on my hands.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
been some real glitches and hiccups, I think, which I've found to be quite annoying. Again, I'm still getting the problems with crashing going on. Something happened in the updates this week which seemed to negate some of the good work that they'd done a week before. And now suddenly the computer is getting a bit more temperamental again on graphics and GPUs for me, which is just nuts because I only have a 2-year-old computer, which is just ridiculous. And it's a fairly decent spec as well. So quite why it's not being able to suddenly handle what's going on there, I have no idea. But yeah, please, Second Life, can you fix it? I don't want to keep crashing out. I nearly had to crash out.
Issue
I nearly had
with
I nearly had to crash out of Clowny's wedding last night, and that's not a good look, you know. So yeah.
I saw that you crashed.
the only issue I have with the beta is my voice is not working in the beta Firestorm.
Yeah, well, the beta is for
That's weird.
testing. So if it's in the release version, then yeah, I guess that would be a problem. But
But
on
I've
beta
been
version,
using the beta
Really-
for years now. I've never had an issue with voice, and then suddenly
Yeah,
well, fair
mine
enough.
updated.
But it's
So
by definition, Pris, you're using a beta, and you're in Bandit country there, so you're
Yeah.
you're doing the testing for them. So if it goes wrong, you found the bug. You can't
I
complain
don't know.
that
I'm on the
it's not
same boat
working
as
right.
Chris.
So,
And
yeah,
it generally works, but they were having issues with voice. I think it was like yesterday or the day before. Where you'd see
okay.
like if you went to the nearby voice, you would see it saying that it was loading and it would never load. But that's since been fixed, so chances are good, Chris, that if you update now, you'll be able to use it.
I am updated. I've got the latest version. It stopped working yesterday, and I've tried and retried, and just now I switched to the normal Firestorm, and that's how my voice is working. But it hasn't been working
Okay,
since
so
it's
maybe it just hates you. That's fair.
Oh, yeah. It's tough to be me.
there we go.
Yeah. But that's
So
just
yeah.
George, we can't hear you, so I don't know.
Well, he's got a bit of a problem. I think George is saying he's got a couple of issues with his mic working or not, which sounds a bit similar to what you've just had.
It could be, yeah.
So,
If you're using beta, maybe you've got the same issue as me. You've got to switch to the normal
there is a separate
version.
button you have to press to basically lock it in, and it keeps going. But yeah, there we go. So that's out there. Yes, coming up shortly. Oh, well, that's a whole load of Black Fridays and things coming up tomorrow if you're in Australia, or the day after tomorrow if you're not. Then basically we've got Cyber Monday coming up. So for all the people that have bought stuff online on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, yes, Cyber Monday is where you can buy stuff online at discounts. So ironically, that's the big day for buying stuff online. And we hope that if you haven't spent all your hard-won pennies or hard-won money on the stuff on Black Fridays, then you can spend it on Cyber Monday.
Yeah, but what was funny is I was shopping yesterday. I went and bought my suitcase for my cruise, and then I saw something that I really liked, and my friend said, "Oh, just wait after Christmas, because after Christmas we've got another type of sales, and apparently they're better than Black Friday." So I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
It's always
We actually have this in the UK. I mean, we've got everyone in the UK. We always like a sale and discount, and the shops like to embrace it because it kind of kickstarts the purchasing frenzy that we have in the build up to Christmas. But what we do have on the day that we call Boxing Day, that most of the world hasn't got a clue what it means, and then running through to the new
Yeah, my dad was trying to ask if Boxing Day was today.
as I was, no, it's not. And then as we go through into probably about the third week in January, which is when the sales start to peter out, then basically we have that whole frenzy of selling off the old stock and the old discounts and things, which is what it's about. Perversely, I've actually seen some people in some store chats saying, "Why can't I have the latest items on the Black Friday discounts?" Well, you've never been able to do that in my mind, but I was amused to see that people were demanding that from some stores, which is a bit of a shame, but they obviously don't quite got the idea.
Yeah, so funny about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously
like
they want it.
Malutka is doing it right now. Like their latest hat is actually on sale too. It's 50% off. I was surprised by that.
And it was funny because there were some people in the chat complaining that there was no free head.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you're getting 50%.
That's Christmas Day. That's
you
not
also
Black Friday.
you also need a free head now. Like That's a big
Yeah,
thing.
they do the free head on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I know
Somebody
that,
got
but
mixed up.
it's Black Friday, not Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody got confused.
What goes ahead? Don't go
What?
there. I'm just joking. Forget that comment.
I don't know what you said.
Doesn't matter. Moving swiftly on. So yeah, I've seen a few things, as I say, in some of the chats and things about that, which has been a little bit unusual. But yeah, there's lots of other things going on out there still in the great, wonderful, big, wide, and wonderful world that is Second Life. So
Free
yeah,
head shows up for 12 days of Christmas. Like, we need to
Would
find
anybody-
another word, because free heads for 12 days.
yeah.
Everyone's so desperate to get free head.
I'm not. I've spent a lot of time making my head look like me, and it kind of does, apart from the haircut. So if I can get a new haircut that looks more like my hair, then that'll be great. But the rest of it looks pretty close actually, apart from the
Yeah,
nose.
George is right. Lack is actually giving out free head right now. I mean, you can always go get your free head from them.
I know he is not desperate for free head.
Who knows?
Well,
I mean,
as
variety is
Denise,
the spice of life, Clara.
as Denise says, if you want free head, go to Lack. There you go. So that's it. No, don't take that literally.
I'm
You know
not
what I
trying
mean?
to sound like you.
Oh.
Oh,
Anyway. All right. Is there any topic that you want us to discuss?
Free head?
you're the one that's got the finger on the pulse, Pris. I know you've got some people that you're meeting coming up, which is going to be quite amazing. With Christmas and all
Not
that as
supposed
well.
to talk about that.
Oh, sorry. I'm not going to give too much away, but you're wearing red. That's all I can say. But apart from that, yeah, there's not a lot else going that I can say of. I know that we have a grand reveal coming in Aussie Shores here, and where we are right now, coming up as we come into December. That's going to be amazing. I know, and so that we'll be able to see details of that coming fairly shortly. I know there's going to be lots more changes coming around Second Life. Everyone's going to go into Christmas mode if they're not already.
Or they are.
They are.
Well, it's not even it's not December yet until for another couple of days. But people
But
are
a
already
lot of
starting to
Second
think
Lifers are American.
people are starting to think that Christmas is already here, and I don't know what they're going to do when Christmas actually does arrive. What are they going to do when Christmas actually arrives? Because
they're going to keep enjoying it. They're going to keep enjoying it. No, honey, can I tell you something? This year, when I waited for your okay to decorate for Halloween, I felt like the decor was up for a split second. I blinked at it, and then it was time to take it down. Like Americans and a lot of other people, not everyone, but Americans and a lot of other people are used to these holidays lasting longer than a week or two.
That's just wishful thinking. Halloween is one night.
It's not wishful thinking. It's what people do because it makes them
All
happy.
Hallows. It stands for all.
You can celebrate honey. You can celebrate the holidays however you like, but other people are they're gonna celebrate how they like, and they like to enjoy it for longer.
Fair enough, but I'm saying All Hallows Eve is one night. It's an eve.
We know that. No one cares.
Yeah.
People like it so they want to enjoy it for longer.
Christmas has 12 days. They even wrote a song about it. So and the first day
People
of Christmas
know that, but they don't care. They want to enjoy it for longer. It's real simple.
First day of Christmas is Christmas Day. So we've got that going on.
Hi,
But
Zia.
of course we have Advent and all those other wonderful things in the build up to Christmas. And in various parts of the world, we have people that celebrate a form of Christmas, even as far as first week in December. Some of the feasts of St. Nicholas and some of those parts of which are happening as well. Then you've got the Orthodox calendar, which takes you right through into like the second week in January. So
It makes
Yeah.
people happy to celebrate for longer, and they're not hurting anybody, and they're not hurting you.
Well, who said there's anything about hurting anybody?
Well, they're not wishing their life away. They're not doing strange things. They're doing things that a lot of people do. It's culturally common in different places in the world to like spend more than 12 days or one night celebrating these things.
I just like it. I just like it to be that
Yes,
shorter
yes,
time.
you can do it your way for your own self, and there's
Well,
nothing wrong with it.
the
But they
reason,
can
the
also
reason,
do what they like in their own home.
yeah. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but I'm simply saying I like it to be shorter because to me that makes it more special. That's just me. But there we go.
I mean, I felt like I blinked and Halloween was over. It was time to like the decorations went up, and then it felt like 24 hours later they came down. Like, which is fine. I agree to that with you, but
It did kind of blink and go over very, very quickly.
yeah.
I must
So,
admit.
but
Yeah, because
the
but
reason I
partly,
felt that way, the reason I felt that way, the reason I felt that way is because usually all of October is Halloween around me. The people around me, the neighborhood, all of it.
yeah. Okay, so I mean, the reason I felt bad about it was there were so many problems with PBR and all the extra textures that I was crashing every 5 seconds, so I never got to see much of it anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't explore in October. SO had it bad in October.
There we go.
I want to enjoy winter. I mean, Christmas is just Christmas. I just want to enjoy winter. So from the 1st of December, probably to end of January, winter time. The snow and all that.
Yeah.
That's what I like about this season.
Oh, and you mentioned Sarah Plus, one of the things that you read, like thing with a premium plus and whatever. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it feels like this second version of it, because the first trimester was pretty good. But I feel like this second trimester has been a doozy.
What is?
The rewards haven't been as good. Sarah Plus, like the thing that the free gift. Well, not free because you're paying for your subscription, but the complimentary gift with your subscription.
I haven't even looked at it.
Well, these are the reloaded gifts. I'm I'm not premium plus, or any other, but it sounds like a trim line for a car. Actually, I've got a premium plus trim line on my car. That's the thing. Sorry. So yes, on a resident side, on Second Life resident side, I think I've already mentioned. You kind of know that I'm not a shopper's whore, so I don't really sort of go around all the stores.
A shopper's whore? I haven't heard that.
I'm not. I'm just not. I'm
not either. I get excited around Halloween and that's it.
So I just don't get to see much or do much when it comes to this great shopping addiction that everybody seems to be having, all the people I talk to. I don't know. I'm simply putting it out there because I've got something that's bigger than mentioning. So if you
Even if I could afford it, I don't think it would get boring.
So if you have a view on Sarah Plus and those kind of things, put it out there. Let's hear it. There's got to be good and bad sides to why they're doing these. Well, there's got to be good things, which is obviously why they're doing it. But there might be some bad sides and downsides too. Here's a good forum to discuss it.
So the problem that I see with it, the way it's designed right now, is, for example, like, we all have our preferences as far as characters and, even genders. So the first time, what they did is that they gave some male rewards and some female rewards. Technically, you're only getting half unless you actually do gender bending on your avatar, right? Because you're going to get the male gifts, but if you have a female avatar, that's not going to be much good for you. But in this case, they went even more extreme because it's the same with some of the skins and stuff that they provide. Some of them are better suited for darker tones. Some of them are for lighter tones. And the same thing happened. It's like if you're a lighter, like a fair-skinned avatar, and all of the skins that they offer you are dark-skinned, then, well...
There's 7 gifts. I'm looking at them now.
Yeah, I think they add one every so often during the duration.
Oh,
They release like an initial pack, and then from there they'll add one every so often.
plus you have
They're
to have the
supposed to
body,
renew like
for
every
example.
trimester.
Yeah, but you have to have the body. Like for example, Riot, they're not doing for Petite X, or they're doing Legacy, but not Perky. So that's a limited.
I didn't actually. Now I'm curious. I need to check the ones that I got if they have alpha, because if they don't, it would be even worse. Because then it's like you get a body with the avatar welcome pack and you can't use the gifts because they don't have alpha. So let me check that real quick.
Um,
I've
I've
had
had too much water.
I'll be
I'll be
right
right back.
Was that the rumbling in
Yeah.
your stomach?
I
No.
feel the same,
no.
yeah, Zia.
Oh, okay. I could hear this rumbling noise, and then suddenly.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I just checked, and yeah, they don't include alpha. Like they don't have the separate alpha layers. So if you're on the legacy body that you get from the avatar welcome pack, these would probably clear.
Yeah, well.
Which is kind of awful because it's like,
Let's
I mean,
be
if they should tell these people to, at least add the alpha.
So let's just be completely blunt and say what it is. I mean, whilst it's great to have these items which have come through as a basic introductory package from certain well-known developers and creators in Second Life, and being made available to people that start Second Life, one, they don't really get pointed to where these things are to be able to set their avatars up. Unless they find someone to physically point them at that new welcome pack folder and then tell them how to apply it. They're only ever going to get the old classic mesh things, the old hobo and the lady with the cat in the bag and all those kind of things that used to be out there.
I like the little cat witch girl. That was my very first avatar.
Sorry, not cat in a bag, dog in a bag. That's right, it was a dog in a bag, wasn't it?
Oh,
So they've got those. So people are still joining with Second Life and walking around with those because no one can actually tell them where the welcome pack is to be able to give them something.
No, so that's actually not right, Andy.
Well,
like when I created one of my alt accounts, it actually equips you with one of the avatar welcome pack starter avatars.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, and then if you go to an any viewer, and this in case we have anyone who doesn't know, if you go to avatar welcome pack on your viewer, it'll give you a picker where you can select and change, like in all of the preset avatars. And I think they recently, and I'm saying recently because I didn't know it was there, you can actually also switch like the avatar and then the clothing separately, which is a welcome addition.
But the clothing and the way that you apply that is done very much in the spirit of the old, the old sort of classic type thing. So basically, you have a look. You can't, for example, give yourself a. Pick an example, Andy. Like a Lelutka head, for example, which may be available on that welcome pack. You can't mix and match that with the things that you've bought in the marketplace separately because they just won't fit. It's the various attachment points, etc. And that, unfortunately, is a catch, I think, to people that might join Second Life. They might pick up those welcome packs and look at that and say, yeah, I've got a half decent avatar. This looks quite good. But you know what? I want to wear another pair of jeans, or I want to wear another pair of boots, or something like that. And suddenly they find they can't. And I feel that's a bit of a shame. That's because that will turn a lot of people off it. Oh, hey, I can't wear what I've got this marketplace, got all these things, got these amazing people all walking around out there. I can't look like them unless I spend lots and lots of money. So I'm kind of like the budget end of the scale here because I'm walking around like a welcome pack. And I guess in a few months or maybe a year or two's time, we're all going to end up knowing what the welcome pack avatars and components
we
are.
already know what one of them looks like. I've been seeing it around the club.
As I was saying, so we'll start to get an idea of what these ones are in the welcome pack, and they'll become as distinctive as like the hobo or the girl with the dog in a bag. So dog in the bag, I still think is funny. It's just my perverse sense of humour. I do apologise, everybody, but yeah, the dog in the bag is just.
I adored that little witch with the cat named Theo on her shoulder.
Yeah, but the
So,
thing is,
yeah.
would somebody buy the premium just for Syrup Plus, and do they even know that they're getting that when they're paying for the membership? I just don't feel it's a good
There
set.
does seem to be an assumption that when you get something, you're supposed to know everything about it, and what it can actually do for you. I think the onus seems to always be on the user to work out what they can do with things rather than be shown the options. And I feel that's a shame, because then people don't realize the power of what they actually have, and they're constantly going out and getting more stuff if they can have the resources to do that, or wrecking what they've got, or whatever. How many, let's be blunt, how many people out there have got more than one pair of jeans in their inventory, potentially because they've bought several items of clothing that they've already got.
I have plenty of pair of jeans. What are you talking about?
What?
He means buying the same thing twice on accident.
Oh, but you've got that. If you buy from Casper Vend, if you buy twice, it will refund and tell you. By the way, you
Yeah,
already
but
bought
not.
that.
Yeah, but not every store is gonna do that for you.
It's Casper Vend.
Sometimes you
It's
can just
automatic.
buy it
And
twice.
there's also the same item. There's also, you find the same items, the same meshes are used by different creators as well. So you end up buying the identical item. You buy something, you think, hang on a minute, didn't I buy that already? And then when you go through the inventory, suddenly you find a completely
Well,
different,
yes and
unrelated
no.
description. You
Like,
suddenly realise
so
that you've got the
there's-
item sitting there,
so
and
there's-
Clara is talking over me again. So
Well,
you
yeah,
know, that's a
because
problem.
okay, so there's a lot of full perm stuff and like similar full perm where like everyone is allowed to use the base item, and then you do see it at several different stores. But hopefully, the reason that you're paying for it at one store versus another is because they did something unique with it, their own
No,
thing.
no,
You can
the,
still
the
tell
only
if
thing, no, the only thing unique they do is the texturing, because I was once at Uber, they had almost side by side, like I think there was two vendors between them, okay, two different brands. They were the exact same gown. It was just the texture and the price. One was more expensive than the others, but it was the exact same gown, the exact same features. It was just different colors and two different brands. So it's a template.
Yeah.
yeah. And there's not necessarily, I mean, sometimes people are copying each other, but sometimes people are just using the template that they are allowed to use. That's fine. Hopefully, because what I'm trying to say is hopefully because you're paying for it, there is something unique for what you are spending your money for. Like, Apple Fall has the same thing as What Next, maybe the same base item, but you're gonna buy Apple Fall because it looks nicer, or you might buy What Next because it has more variety of like animations or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe this is just me, but like the way I organize my inventory, the chances of me buying duplicates are like slim, at least from the same person. Now buying the same look, I guess it's possible. I don't think it's happened to me yet. Um, and I have a lot of stuff. I mean, relative to the time that I've been here, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So yeah, Pris, I don't have 100,000. My inventory right now is at 27,000, and I
My
have a bunch of
inventory
demos.
is not bad. Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure like 100K is pretty average.
Seriously,
average.
27,000, and that's with like 1,000 items worth of demos.
Yeah, look at her. She's got 240,000.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and compare yourself to people who are worse off than you, Pris. It's okay.
No, 100K is average. I'm pretty sure it is average for most all timers in Second Life.
I have
No, and that's
76K.
fair.
I'm kind of close to 100K, and I've only been here about 3 years or something.
I mean,
108.
it's fair. I'm sure it'll keep inflating over time. So
Well, I've
Yeah,
been here
it
three.
will.
I've been in Second Life 3.5 years now, and I'm feeling very inferior to all of you good people because I've only got 20,000, and
Yeah,
that's
but you
real
don't
life.
buy anything. You don't count. You two don't
I've
count.
not found. I've not found anything
Andy and I
different to
don't
buy.
count.
Yeah, because
Andy,
you
have
don't
you
you
been
don't
to
spend
Ascend?
money.
Yeah.
Andy, have you been to
Yeah.
Ascend?
What's Ascend?
Brand.
The store.
No.
You should probably visit it. It has really large sections for men. You might find something you like there.
Oh, okay. I'll make a note of that. See, this is something else. You never know the brand until you find it. So you know.
Well, and also, like, Andy and I both are not. I mean, I'm a bit more into clothes than Andy, but like, we are both, compared to most Second Life, we are not that into clothes and hair and skin and all of that. I have 2 skins, and one of them is for Halloween.
I've kind of got the clothes I need already because I'm not seeing anything different in places where I go, and that's
Yeah,
fine.
I use a lot of my old Maitreya stuff because I still like it and I still like my old Maitreya body. There's new stuff coming out and I buy it once in a while and I have the body for that, but I like my old stuff, so I still use it.
I
I
will
also
There's
don't
say,
another
plan on.
store.
I also don't
you're
plan on buying a bunch of like Christmas clothes this year at all. And everybody's like, "I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy that," and it's like, but you don't need to if you already have plenty.
yeah. I mean, I've got my tongue in my cheek when I say this. There are a lot of fashions in Second Life which are either dated or from a certain period or from a certain population dynamic that I really don't relate to. I'll give you just a brief example, which is kind of wacky. Um, in real life, about 15 years ago, there was a trend in the UK to sort of wear your jeans halfway down your thighs, um, which, as I understood it, actually was some sort of gay statement in the various penitentiaries in California, sometime, between in male penitentiaries. And a lot of people started sort of backing off from that when that started being realised. But yet, now I suddenly start finding these sort of things are actually coming out in Second Life now, and I'm amused. I have to say, you won't catch me wearing it, but I'm just amused to see them. So yeah,
Yeah, I actually found it the other day, like this Urembik thing,
Yeah.
and I was surprised and I think it's actually a very practical thing, especially for men who don't like to do a lot of mixing and matching.
Yeah.
Like they'll make like a pre-sorted outfit, so you just buy the thing and it includes everything you see in the picture. And it's like if you want to look like this, buy this, and it'll include the whole thing. And even without like a sale, it was like 1,000 linden, so it's not too bad for the whole thing.
And when they release the thing, it's at a cheaper price as well. So it's a
well,
good deal. I think it's a good starter.
I mean, Clara's out there saying I have trouble finding things I want or like, but I'm not a big
Yeah.
clothes shopper. It's not high on my list of priorities. It would be high on the list of my priorities if I had the variety to choose from. I just don't see it.
Oh,
my
well,
gosh,
apparently we
so
just got 2
He wants
store
to
names
take you
for that.
shopping,
Well,
Andy.
okay.
Yeah, those two I think you might like. Like I was browsing for my, the male avatar project, and those 2 stores I ran into, and I was like, oh, hey, these are surprisingly. And the funny thing is, you don't see a lot of people wearing it because everybody's wearing a Deadpool suit,
Yeah, that's me.
and they even have,
Or
their
cold
own
ash. Yeah.
suits. And what I thought was neat is that they have options that Deadpool doesn't have. For example, like you can have the jacket open or closed, which is actually something that I don't get why Deadpool doesn't have that option for all of their suits.
I, like I say, I don't know these places. I don't see them. I don't probably come into anywhere apart from doing this podcast with everybody, where I can actually come into contact to actually be aware of what these places are. I can see someone saying that there's like 3 or 4 men's events every month. I don't see any of them. And yeah,
It's
might
too
steal.
much. You will
I
get
just don't
overwhelmed if you're in the group seeing all the notifications. I left all the groups
Well,
within a week.
it's kind of wacky because when I have been shopping, so I somehow seem to suddenly found myself on some mailing lists. And they're sending me lots of recommendations for women's dresses and heels and all sorts of pretty sort of flirty stuff, none of which would look really appropriate on a man. But they still want to keep merrily sending it through to me. And
Yeah, they don't care if you're a man or not. You're just someone on their mailing list, which is really stupid and wrong. I think it's illegal, but hard to prove.
Well, I've asked them to take it off, and yeah, that's not happened. But anyway,
that's not enough.
Yeah. I've actually blocked them now, so I don't get too many of them. But yeah, it's.
Okay, are you reading the chat, Andy?
I am actually. Yeah. I'm going to be. So not only have I been the best man to a clown, the clown actually wants to go and redress me. This is going to be. Yeah.
I think it would be a good video.
Well, I'll probably turn up one week just looking like Ronald McDonald here or something like that, which would be really insane. But
when would we have time? I guess it would be.
We would do like in a mini bus. Okay, let's film going into a mini bus and we're all going to the shop.
An RV. Quiz. We're gonna do like an RV living thing.
There's a good one actually. One time I wanted to buy it. We had a look. What is that? I think it's that millionaire or billionaire car thing. They've got a really good one for a tour. Yeah, that would be funny.
We could do that. I say we started doing that with the boat here, didn't we? And we started going around the waterways of Second Life. But yeah, if we got like an RV or something, maybe we could do the same thing, but on land. There may be other options there,
it would be just filming, the first part in the RV just to make it fun. It's not like we can drive to a shop.
I know you can drive a 4-wheeler.
But yeah. And
sorry, Clara, I didn't hear any of that. But yeah.
I know that you can drive a 4-wheeler.
Yes, I know.
What do you call it, a quad? Yeah,
I call it. I call it a car. It's got 4 wheels. So yeah.
No, a quad bike.
Oh, quad bike. Oh, that's different. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what a 4-wheeler is. That's what we call it here. We also call it 4x4.
No, a 4x4 is like a Land Rover or an SUV.
No. Sometimes 4x4 is, you take out your 4-wheeler, you go mudding with your friends.
That's like a Land Rover or a Jeep. Yes.
No, it's not. It's a quad bike, like what you slim and me and the DJ with. Yeah, mutton. You know.
Mud plugging.
Yeah.
No, not mud plugging. Just mud.
Mud plug. We call it mud plugging.
Well, I've never been. I always wished I could. Now I can. But we could do it in SL. That could be fun.
Well, I've kind of done it in SL. We went touring around some Sims, didn't we? We went into Jurassic Park, and I had the distinction of parking the Jurassic Park Land Rover in the bottom of a lake several times, simply because.
That was really fun. But I don't think you understand.
We ended up dumping it. In fact, you were left on there actually, which was quite interesting.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah. But this is different though.
Okay.
Anyways, I've had too much water. I'm starting to dance. I'll be right back.
Go on then.
The funny part with I actually went sailing. I hadn't in a while. Like I have the domino, but I hadn't actually taken it for a long trip.
Oh yes.
And I decided to just sail north from where I have my Linden home. Where I have the pier. So I just went up. And I was actually pleasantly surprised, although you have to be careful, because obviously it's not a smaller boat, so maneuvering can get tricky sometimes, especially because people love building right on top of everything. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised that the Lindens seem to have been smart about adding protected land to avoid the waterways getting blocked.
Yeah.
I actually managed to get around. Like I had to stop and actually strategize sometimes to find where I could, but I managed to. So that was nice, and I actually made it up to this pretty cool community. it's like a series of regions, like all connected,
Oh yeah,
and they have like a marina, and then they have like housing, but it's all like the covenant is done in such a way that you can actually sail through there. Like they don't get to do the whole annoying 3 second return, so
yeah.
you actually get to sail through the land. It's pretty cool.
That's nice. You can
Yeah.
do that because there's so many places that you can't. But there are one thing I do know. I have noticed that's obviously if you're talking in terms of mainland. If you're on the islands sort of side of it, then literally, you've got the island, which is just the one sim or region, and then you can't flip between those as the same way that you can the mainland. And maybe that's a good or bad thing. I don't know. Um, the club I'm involved with is built on an island, and nothing gets in there unless it wants to, basically. Um, unless of course it's automated, in which case it can't get in anyway. But that's a different.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
yeah,
did notice there are some areas that are not connected because you can kind of tell when you look at the world map.
yeah,
Like the water that is sailable has like this little texture thing, like kind of a roughness to it. Whereas the one that doesn't, you can't sail through. Like that, those are actually regional boundaries. So there
yeah,
are sims that are outside. I suppose if you buy a region, that's where you get put, um, so that
yeah.
you're actually separate from the mainland or whatever, and have some privacy.
Definitely, definitely.
But it was
It's
pretty
been
cool, and
it's been
I
interesting when
actually
you.
was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll say it's been interesting from my point of view when I have been cruising, not necessarily in this particular boat, but I've had more than one boat, or I could just rent another copy of this one. When I do those kind of cruises, because sometimes you come across a place that you see in destinations lurking in the middle of it, and you suddenly think, "Oh my God, it's there! It is! It there! You've literally cruised up to it, and it goes by." That's actually quite a special moment when you do that, rather than teleporting directly to it. The fact that you can cruise along and then suddenly just find it, but obviously then you can obviously see everything else that's around it too. Um, I've had some good moments
Yeah.
with things that way. Sorry, you were
Yeah,
just
and
saying.
I actually was very pleasantly surprised. Like, I don't think that is by design, or at least I don't believe so,
Hmm.
but it actually felt like the stuff that was on the actual shorelines wasn't scandalous. Because I expected to find some loser with like a giant stone box or something, because
Yeah,
they like to do that. And I've seen it on some coastal regions, so I know it's there. But at least the route that I took, I didn't see any of that. It was all actually like stuff that looked like it belonged on the shoreline.
yeah, yeah. Oh well, never mind.
I was asked yesterday actually to do a video about sailing.
It's. I mean, I've got a few boats. This is, as I say, I've already mentioned. I've got more than one. I've got some actually where the sailboat, the wind-powered boat, is quicker than the motorboat. And my God, do they go! Um, there's one which I've got, which is an America's Cup copy of the AC-130s, which I'm flying around in the Louis Vuitton Cup and the America's Cup. And my God, does that thing absolutely flies. Um, the problem you get then, of course, is that in these days of PBR and high definition textures, everybody thinks that high definition textures are a really great thing. You never have a chance to you never have a chance to res it, and the chances are you'll probably crash into it before you've actually seen it. The way they're going at the moment, so that's always a bit of a shame.
I think it comes down to having good covenants and kind of,
Yeah,
yeah, policing a little bit, because I think that's needed in some regions here. I get it if you want to have whatever inland, but at least the regions that are like coastal, they should stay cosmetic enough for you to be able to sail up to them and look at them and not get completely taken out of the experience.
yeah, yeah. That's all. Z is just saying that there is a covenant for coastal land. So if you have got mainland and you're on coastal, then there is a covenant, particularly saying, they are all one sort of standard platform. That's a great idea. I like that. I know that there
Pretty
are
sure
not
you
a
can
land.
have the platform, you just can't block people from sailing through it. Like,
Yeah,
having
I know
space for them to.
I know that there are some landowners and things out there that of people out there that basically are taking these items, taking this land, and they are copying and pasting covenants which they've already seen, which can and cannot always be a good thing. So yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's if it's your land and you've got some conditions for using it, then that's up to you. But sometimes if the more off the wall, the more non-standard, or the more going out of tangent you want to take yourself, then obviously the more um, open to abuse or interpretation or misuse you are going to be leaving yourself open to as you're doing it. So that again, is just a question of making sure that you're doing things um, along the lines that people can appreciate the intent and appreciate and respect what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's super cool that is there. I did kind of start browsing some land, see if I could find anything coastal, because I have my land right now, but I can't really build on the ground because it's surrounded by really weird stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's like, so I end up like doing skyboxes, which is cool. I like them, or platforms. But at the same time, I do like the idea of connectedness, and being able to actually like leave my land and go elsewhere, which obviously a skybox won't give you quite as well. So,
Yeah.
that's one
Yeah.
of those things where sometimes I wish there was a bit more enforcement of that, at least around specific stuff. Like if you live near a road, for example, I think that should absolutely be a thing where you have to be, a bit more structured with what you do. And it's like if you want
Yeah.
to do crazy stuff, then fine, but do it inland, and then you can do whatever you want.
The one thing that
Suppose if it
that I
was
get.
like second Norway, where you can just sail away but everything looks nice, and you have to be, stay within the theme, basically.
Yeah.
It's
I
actually one
mean,
of the things that I find cool about the RP sims. Like, when they're big enough, like for example, I've been RPing in Crackden, and Portofino is the same, where they're like 8, 10 regions. When they're contiguous and they're visually continuous, it's pretty cool.
I lived in on one like that briefly. I liked that little spot, and then their sim had to shut down because they ran out of money, which was sad. It was really cool. It was sprawling. It was like a whole city.
I'd love to drive around, but I just can't drive.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
anymore.
they
Like
need
mainland.
some kind of support, maybe a controller where I don't know, some way we can drive easily. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
driving is
Yeah.
insane in SL. But I can't hardly even go to mainland anymore. 99% of mainland makes me crash.
I mean, it's interesting when you talk about that, because people can say, well, it's down to the car that you're driving or the vehicle transport that you're driving and that kind of thing. But there is a transport system that goes around the mainland, and sometimes I've just grabbed on one of those pods as it goes by and just sat
Yeah.
and rode it for a while, and that's quite amazing. But the
Fun little
crazy thing
adventure.
about that, the craziest thing about that is that despite the fact you're on that pod and you're seeing so many different things as you're going along, I can really recommend it to everybody. But the problem that I have seen on it is that still lags too. So I can be going along and then suddenly the pod disappears into land or goes through a building or something because the road has bent and the pod hasn't. And it's not the fault of the pod, because the pod is actually following the road, and it does it automatically. But I'm sitting in the pod and I'm lagging. So my view, the pod goes straight on and heads off through the walls and everything else. And you just know, oh, damn, okay. And then sometimes it catches up and suddenly you find yourself jumping like sort of 50 feet sideways and you're back on the road and you carry on. But, that's again, that's probably my view. And my lack of not having a supercomputer or, deep thought running my whole IT infrastructure here, which is, I think, is the way that Second Life want me to go. But yeah, that aside, I can well recommend taking rides on those pods. Similarly, also on trains, and this sounds nuts, but there are some great trains and railroads which they've put through Second Life as well, and you can see a lot from those too. They're quite fun.
Yeah, but they're great, but I still would like to see a better system for driving, because there are so many cars in Second Life, which is pretty cool to be able to have cars, but basically you're paying a high price for some and they're just sitting, decorating your house. You can't really use them driving it.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have a driving system so that we could actually use our own cars. Like I probably would go
Sounds like
to
something
mainland.
that someone should innovate.
Huh?
Well, they kind of have, because we've got, as Pris was saying, there are a number of different vehicles out there that you can have. There's quite a wide variety, although in some cases, again, they're culturally aligned to the creator that makes them. So, I can go to some amazing, if I want to buy a car, I can go to some amazing um, stores where there's some fantastic vehicles, none of which I could actually drive in here in the UK because they're all American centric. And there are other vehicles which I'd like to buy and I can't. I'd love to be able to buy the car I have parked outside my house here, for example. And I know it would, in theory, be possible, but I can't get it. Um, so that's kind of a shame. But the thing is that all these stores have their own different systems for driving the vehicles, and they're not all the same. They are, some in cases, as Chris quite rightly was pointing out, they are uber sensitive. And yeah, trying to drive a car in a straight line or drive a car in any, or ride a bike in just any normal application is very, very, very difficult because they just don't handle the way you expect them to or want them to. You're right, Chris. There should be, and it would be great if there was, some kind of standard system which is simply you could jump in the car and get it rolling and away you go. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I don't know what it would take if it is a special system Second Life, or if it is the cars, or if it is maybe a support with controller, but there need to be something because it's impossible. Like I've tried in where my Linden Lab home is, and one time because Honda thought it was me, I didn't know. So he went, I'll show you. And we went to mainland and that was impossible. We just could not do it. Like I've tried so many times as well, just for videos, because it's always nice. Like it would be nice to be able to film like driving, but it's just impossible.
Well, we've had the same with the boats, haven't we? We originally had the idea of cruising along in the boat while we were talking and doing these things. Now we are anchored up in one spot, and we're doing that deliberately because when we're sitting on the boat, it's great, and you can see obviously the lands and all the various places and things that
you can
people
still
take as you go
manage
by.
the boat.
Well, you get to that sim boundary, and everything just goes pear-shaped because the thing's got to de-res and then res again in a new position and then carry on. Different people have different computers which res things at different rates. Before you know where we are, I'm looking at something which could be quite smooth to me. You're running all these applications to grab, send broadcasts on YouTube, OBS and everything else on there, and you're going to be lagging like crazy. And so it's very difficult to keep things running at the same rate for everybody that's seeing it.
I'm curious, have any of you tried Project Zero?
No.
Which one's Project Zero?
That's what I was wondering. Like, if you're having issues with performance, then that would be one possible solution. Running Second Life on a browser.
Oh no, absolutely not. No, I remember that. No.
I tried to test it.
You have to pay for Project Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get. Yeah, I couldn't. It was out. Like I couldn't buy any hours. Oh, you didn't pay? I thought that was the one we have to pay for an hour, or free 1 hour. You just have to enter the URL in the browser.
Yeah. See, again, here we are right now. We've talked in terms of things being available to people, but unless the people actually know that they are available, how are they going to find them? And so we always talk in terms of, we're enriching everyone's experiences in Second Life, but if we don't actually tell the Second Life community about how we're enriching their experiences, they're not going to be doing it.
Well, if I remember when it first came out, the issue was that you had to pay for it. and that makes it automatically not accessible to some, even if they know about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same as every. If we talk in terms of it being, let's not get into the argument about whether it's a game or not. But if we say that, if we're buying an IT game or something like that, these things do get upgraded. You do pay for them.
Well,
And
speaking
it's
as someone who doesn't have Netflix or any streaming services, I mean, it would suck to not have SL either.
Well, but what I meant is, it's kind of the same as if you've used artificial intelligence, like if you try to generate stuff natively, it takes a lot of like computing resources. If you don't have the resources to run a model, you can actually rent capacity so that you can run it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same. Like if you don't have a computer that works for Second Life, it would be neat to, even if you have to pay, to be able to say, well, listen, I'm not gonna be able to invest in a computer, but I'm gonna rent it. And if it gets cheap enough, then great. It's just an option, like it's
Yeah,
not a
But
yeah.
not everyone can just pay for everything in their lives.
Yeah, but
Okay,
we're not
can.
saying that it's not for everybody. It is an option. Okay, it is optional. Nobody is forcing you to pay. It is there for some people who want to pay for it. They don't want to save for a computer. They'd rather pay for a stream that's available. Yeah. It's giving more option to people to access Second Life, and that's great. I think Project Zero is more valid, than the mobile app, because the mobile app you are so limited.
Like for example, if my computer broke down tomorrow and I only had a laptop that doesn't have the resources to run SL,
yeah,
I'd rather have an option than have none at all.
Yeah, or even if you take 4 weeks to get it fixed, at least
but
you
that's
have
easy to say when you have the money.
We're not saying
okay,
it's
so what?
easy.
We don't offer people option
not,
because some people don't have the money.
But yeah,
I guess
exactly.
none of us should have computers. Some people can't
Exactly.
afford computers. Why should any of us
Never
have
mind. Never mind. You're missing what I mean.
I tell you one thing that came out of, funny enough, came out of the wedding last night, and I'd like to ask Pris this as well. We had a couple of issues when we were trying to talk, and Pris made the comment that she couldn't get it running quite right on her iPad. And did I remember that right, Pris? You were actually accessing Second Life on an iPad last night?
No, I was just accessing the voice.
Oh, okay. So it's just. Oh, no, hang on, because the voice is still Second Life though. So you were.
But
on
yeah,
Second
it wasn't.
Life,
Yeah, it wasn't working. So we switched to Discord, and I couldn't add people on Discord because
okay, right. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you might be running Second Life on an iPad. In which
no. I mean, I've got the app. Yes, I can jump on Second Life with the mobile app, but only do that if I have to do a video.
Yeah. How are you finding the mobile app now, Pris?
I have not logged in since the last time I made a video, so that was a month ago. To me, I don't need the mobile app. I mean, I think the mobile app is a nice addition for, I don't know, if you, I don't know, like I don't see the use of a mobile app.
Interesting, we've talked about Project Zero. You could actually run Project Zero on a mobile potentially, and then effectively you've got the whole benefit of everything running there. But the engineering power and everything of the hardware is being taken out of the device you're using to view it, i.e., the iPad, and being run out of Second Life. So that is an option potentially, I guess, for people. But
I mean, and that's where I think it's great. Like having more options is a good thing. And for example, it's like people who have these like the Asus things now. There's like these little mobiles or whatever. They're kind of like tablets for gaming, and you can stream stuff from your computer onto them, so you can run some games.
Yeah. We're getting comments coming back on YouTube. Thanks, guys, for the feedback. Okay, we're seeing that the mobile app isn't potentially as good as it's portrayed on there. I think I'm talking more in terms of principle, so that if you are using a device to access Second Life, where Second Life is being handled on being led down the pipe at you, then it might lend itself better to be handled and viewed through a mobile app and handled that way. Okay, the mobile app isn't there yet, but that's obviously something potentially for the future, and maybe, unless they decide to overdevelop the whole texture and rendering side of Second Life, that may be something worth thinking about for the future. Who knows? Lumia Ravenna, I know this. Lumia is the one, I believe, which is running on Android, which actually got withdrawn from the Google Play Store because it has no support and it wasn't secure. It may have been functional, but but you can sideload it. I can see that, but that's taking yourself into bandit country, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be in problems. But I agree. I mean, if Lumia was working and it was recommended, that would be a great way to go. Would it not be wonderful with Second Life devoting all their development time in developing an iOS-based app? Fantastic if you've got an iPhone. Okay, I've got an iPhone. But if I hadn't got the iPhone and I was working on Android, Lumia would be the way forward. Wouldn't it be great if the creators for Lumia and Second Life would actually work together rather than trying to reinvent the wheel independently? And then potentially we might have a working mobile app that would work.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think Second Life is made for PC.
Yeah.
Like having on a mobile, like this is so tiny. Like I'm looking at my iPhone, and I mean it's the Pro Max. I can't imagine doing anything. Even chatting, even being sitting here, that's just
mobile is terrible.
That's terrible.
I actually had an issue a while ago where I was hanging out with someone and we lost power. Like we had a power outage, and it was a new person that I'd met. We hadn't added one another. So I'm like, oh, let me hop on the mobile app to let them know, that I got disconnected and add them. Yeah, good luck with that. It took me so long to even load. Basically, the person had already long gone. I actually had to go into my Firestorm logs to find their name so that I could message them once I got power back.
Oh, but actually, that's a good point. Yeah, for usage of mobile, you lose power, so you can jump on your phone or tablet to log into Second Life. That's a good.
That's if you have a hand. If there's some kind of handoff facility between the two, then I agree. That's a fantastic way of doing it.
That's what I've always said. It was an add-on. This is the mobile app should not be, promoted as something for Second Life. It's an add-on.
You know what will happen though? You'll get people that have got alts, and one of them will be using their main avatar will be on a PC, and their alts will be on all their other mobile devices. They'll probably have a whole stack of iPads and phones around them with all the other little avatars running on them, and then they could hand off, so they could transfer from the alts to the main one, so from the mobile device onto the main PC and just swap that way. Can you imagine it? It would be absolutely crazy.
I actually I can run 2 or 3 instances of Firestorm on my computer. I've done it. I've actually had my character and my ult simultaneously. It can already happen.
Oh well, yeah. There we go. So, is there anything else out there?
You can be a narcissist and talk to yourself.
You could be a bug. No, I won't say the word. And go F yourself at the same time too. I think a few people actually do that. Actually.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Yeah, there we go. Clown. So from a clown, he's come up with a really good valid point in the chat there. He's saying, if you are logging in via a laptop or a PC, and then logging out and spending time on the phone too. What kind of a real life are you actually having? What is your real life? Is your real life a pixel real life, or is it actually a real life that
Well,
has
I
got
can't
pixels?
walk and get around, and I don't have a lot of friends in my area. So yeah, I spend most of my time on SL. I feel very
This
fortunate.
is
Well,
not what we're
the first
saying, Clara. This is not what we're saying at all. This is just if I'm jumping off Second Life today, usually is, after the live stream, for example, I have things to do, so I'm jumping off. But if you're going out, do something, be with your friends, and then you at a coffee shop with your friends and you're logging in on your mobile phone to be on Second Life, what was the point of leaving home in the first place? Like, unless there's an emergency, you're a creator and there's something urgent, yeah, sure, log in. But if you're just going, off your laptop or computer to go out, okay, you're out. Forget about Second Life for, a few hours. Because then, like Clowny said, if you have to be on Second Life 24/7 when you are outside your home, what kind of real life you have?
Well, there you are. Yeah, I mean, you've got to ask the question, I guess. But as Clara was saying, there are people out there that, for whatever reason, they are spending more time in Second Life than they would otherwise do. So there's a lot of different people out in the world that come into Second Life for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes they come into Second Life, as I say, to lead a Second Life. Sometimes they want to play a game. Sometimes they want to control other people. Sometimes they want to use the community spirit. Sometimes they may want to develop or take pictures and be creative from that point of view, or play music to other people. Or there's 100 different reasons that people could come into Second Life out there. And there's those reasons that they come into Second Life can also depend on their personal circumstances outside of Second Life too. I guess the beauty of a platform, and I call it platform, so notice I'm trying to avoid the word game or not, the platform of Second Life I think is wonderful from that point of view, in that it offers you that variety and that plethora of different options that you may not necessarily get from something you could access through a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think, like, I got a video on my recommended the other day that I thought was pretty cool. It's from this guy. He's like, what was he? I think he was like 70, 75 years old. And it was directed specifically at older folks and telling them, listen, like, if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling like, you're not getting enough interaction, or you're feeling lonely or whatever, there's this thing, Second Life, and it's really cool. And then he was like showcasing Second Life and walking around and showing people like, Sims and stuff, and ways to be
Oh,
social.
that's the video
And
from
yeah, I
Noon.
mean,
I knew
what's
that.
that?
The video you're talking about, that's from Noon. He's
Yeah.
he's from Melbourne. Actually, he's an Australian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was cool, and that's another example of a good application for the platform. Like,
Yeah.
totally true. So I don't judge people for spending a lot of time on Second Life. Everybody has their own situation, and they're in their own world, and they know their problems. Like, I'm not one to judge how people use the thing.
Exactly, I'm with you all the way on that.
Yeah, some people use it as a creative outlet. And hey, if you're one of the lucky ones that's managed to actually live off of the platform and related stuff, awesome. I mean, if I could do that, I would. Yeah, I mean, this discussion that you're having on the side is actually a good point. I mean, there's a reason why things have moved the way they have. You can you can take like let's say the blue pill or the black pill version of it. But I mean, the fact is, we actually have access to so much more stuff as a result of these models that we have these days, where you can rent stuff and you can subscribe and get a bunch of stuff. You used to be more limited to what you could access through physical media. So there's a convenience element to it. Is it a net positive or a negative? Well, that's more debatable. But I do think it's cool that we have access. Like I was telling someone the other day, I'm like, man, you remember how hard it was to, like, when you wanted to get a song that was playing on the radio, and you'd have to get a cassette and then wait for it to play and then try to record it without the DJ talking over it.
Yeah, yeah. It's an interesting one. It's obviously an interesting argument. Um, we've got a whole lot of people now saying just turn the computer off and get outside and see the real world. I guess I personally, I often say if it's always good to take a little bit of time out every once in a while, because otherwise you can get sucked into Second Life becoming this total scope of your world, and that may not necessarily be a good thing depending on what you're doing in Second Life at the time. So I'm a great advocate of saying, okay, every once in a while, take a little bit of time out. Yes, as James said, get out, smell the air, feel the sun on your face, feel the wind on your cheeks, clear your head, and then come back refreshed, if you like, and obviously reconnect with your friends and everybody else. I'm not necessarily saying take out months or things, maybe one day a week or something like that. Take a little bit of time out and just keep yourself in perspective. Look after your well-being and everything up there. Otherwise, yeah, you can find yourself living in a time zone that could be a long way away from where you actually are, talking with people that you don't necessarily understand about concepts that may not necessarily be very good for you. And people fall into different things here sometimes, and sometimes they're very desperate to make friends where they may not necessarily have friends or as many friends in the real world as well. There are all sorts of different reasons why people come into Second Life, and I think we've got to recognise those things. But yes, it is always a good idea to try and keep it in perspective as to what it actually is. Um, I try to do that. People sort of look at me and they expect me to talk a certain way and act a certain way and do certain things, and I don't, because I just prefer to be myself. And from that point of view, yeah, I don't spend a lot of time going to massive. I'm probably the world's worst shopper, actually, or world's greatest shopper when I'm outside Second Life. But in Second Life, the amount of shopping and reliance on shopping seems to be, not for gratification, not just for satisfaction, not for developing your avatar. It seems to be the be all and the end all way of life, and for some people, and to me, I just feel there's a little bit more. So yeah.
Oh wow,
Granny's got it right
Claudia
there.
was addicted to SL. That's yeah.
Yeah.
I've never felt addicted to SL. Like I log in, I do my thing. If I need to log out, I just log out. I have other things to do. But I guess everybody is different. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We just need to
I
remember that. Yeah, we have a life.
I had the pleasure of talking to a leading lecturer at one of the major universities in this country, in the UK, and I was talking to them about Second Life and talking to them about what they were doing, and they were saying to me, "My God," they said, "this can light up the brain of someone like an absolute searchlight. It's almost nuclear in terms of the impact it can actually have." In terms of how the people's brains work and what they're receptive in terms of stimulus and things. If you've got social anxiety problems, that's a great way of getting out of it, because obviously you don't have to be in the real world and you can handle that at your own level in Second Life. And in some kinds, it can also provide a form of therapy to those people too. There are other people out there that may have mobility issues. Well, you can walk around and do all sorts of things in Second Life without actually having to be mobile at all. in the real world. So there's, you can surmount those things as well. There's any number of different ways that Second Life can help you. Um, and I say can help. Um, being dependent on Second Life is a different area, and I think that's a more dangerous place to be. Which is why, as I say, I advocate sometimes taking a little bit of time out every once in a while just to keep the world and everything else in perspective.
There's always the extreme characters, though, that will be addicted to something easily.
Yeah.
Well, because there are addictive personalities. Like
Yeah.
Second Life is just the one, but if it's not that, it's alcohol. If
Yeah.
it's not alcohol, it's drugs. If it's not drugs, it's gonna be something else. Like it's just
Video
the way some
games,
people work.
whatnot, yeah.
Well, you're getting that dopamine fix from Second Life that you would potentially have from a drug or from, I don't know, watching whatever you want to watch on in terms of movie or something on a screen or whatever you want to do. You're getting that kind of fix, and that can be addictive in its own right. So when people say, yes, I'm addicted to Second Life, it can be addictive, and that's simply the way that the body, the way that the human mind reacts when it sees this whole world, particularly if you're not struggling with, how to get this outfit in, or why do I have a two-toned skin, or why have I got that line around my neck which I really don't have and I don't want it to be there. That those kind of things. Once you struggle and got past that, and you're starting to enjoy the wider piece of Second Life out there, it's great. The flip side to it is that there are also people out there that like to prey on people, just as we get in the real world too. And they have people that like to be in control, the people that like to maybe give themselves the illusion of being in control or want to be in control because they don't have that control in the real world. And they'll sometimes like to take advantage of other people too. So that's something you have to be aware of and careful of at the same time too. Because I have seen some people get seriously screwed up by people that feel that they are beholden or allow someone an element of control in their lives, and the other person takes over. And that's not necessarily a good place to be either.
Actually, it's funny because I've actually, that you're saying, like, I've actually noticed that Second Life feels a lot like it still has a bit of that Wild Wild West vibe to it that the internet used to have, but it doesn't really have anymore because it's very much gotten put on rails for the most part. But with Second Life, you still kind of get that sense. I don't know if you get what I mean.
I do. I
I
understand where you're
don't
coming
get
from.
what you mean, Denise.
Yeah, like it used to be. The internet used to be a lot less safe than it is now because there's a lot of stuff that's gradually made its way into it. Self-censorship, regulations. There's places where you can't access certain things, and so on and so forth. The internet used to be a lot wilder early on. Like you could see just about anything there. You still can, I guess, but it's a lot harder. Like a lot of times, you actually have to go looking in order to find. Used to not be like that. Like you'd find the wildest crap. And Second Life feels a bit like that still. Like it feels like it's very unrestrained. Like I was so yesterday, while I was IMing you, Pris, I went to Lelutka and I was looking at the heads, where we were talking about it. And I stood there for a while, just chatting with people and people watching. And it is insane the stuff that you will see on Second Life in a sim that is honestly not role playing. I think it's, what is it, moderate or is it general? I forget. And I was looking at
Yeah.
and I was looking at people's profiles, just people watching, and you'll see the strangest stuff, like insane stuff. And the problem is, and it's where, I'm saying the Wild West thing, you might have a 10-year-old or a 12 or a 13-year-old on the platform, makes his way over to Lilutka to look at heads, and winds up running into some hardcore fetishist stuff that's on a profile. Because those are open to all, those aren't restricted.
Yeah.
And that made me, like, it actually made me think back to what we're talking about. I'm like, wow, this is still so unrestricted compared to most other facets of the internet where stuff like this would have gotten, like, shut down very quickly.
Yeah, because there is an emphasis on community and individuality that we have in Second Life, and that's always been there from the start. And other virtuals kind of go the same way as well, but you know, you've got that going on. But you know, there's a reason why we all sign a disclaimer when we join Second Life. We sign a disclaimer to say that we don't mind the contact that we get. We have all of those. So you know, it's
it's still I like what Denise said, because yes, with the we stayed at the, how long did we stay there at the Lilica sim? I think we were there for about at least an hour and an hour and a half, yeah. And for someone even new to Second Love, just going to buy a new head. I mean, we had this. First of all, you had the Abbey that looks like children. We had at some point there was that chick that was walking around naked, flat chested, like she looked like a bit of a child. Like, you know, and there was all sorts, which is a bit bizarre. Experience. It is an experience.
And that's something that is pretty uniquely Second Lifey, at least compared to what I usually see on the internet these days, like especially on a platform. Because you have to keep in mind, like if you look at any online game these days, you're not gonna find most of this stuff. First, because it's not even possible. And second, because if any of it took place, you'd probably end up getting reported and a moderator would come and look at it and probably ban you. You know, but not so here. Like there's a lot of people doing wild things here.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen some real eye-opener stuff out there that some people regard as being, you know.
Can you be naked on VR chat though and Roblox? Yeah, but are they as detailed as Second Life is?
Well, they're probably on the same niche, Zia. Like, if it's not specific to Second Life, it's still like this little band of like platforms, if you want to call them that have that situation. Yeah, but that's because of a different thing. Like you can go and do the weird stuff that they're doing there on an MMORPG. It's just that moderation teams will come, see the logs, and you'll get kicked out. You know, the reason they have all of the heat is not so much because of what happens, it's because they don't do much about it. Like they don't enforce really.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So
yeah, it's a lot of grooming in Roblox.
Yeah, I don't know those games or whatever you want to call them. I've got to be honest with you. Although I've seen some screenshots and shots of things on YouTube from streamers like you, Pris, that go in and show those things. So yeah, and there's a whole number of different sort of pseudo virtual worlds out there. Second Life is probably one of the older ones, or more established. No, I couldn't say the older. Probably one of the more established ones that's out there. But yeah, it's Second Life in a lot of ways does look a lot prettier than some of the other options that are out there. I think. Well, in my experience, the appearance actually sometimes reflects on the people that are in there, and I don't just mean in terms of people looking how they want to look and those kind of choices. It also affects surreptitiously how they talk and how they interact with other people. One thing I find that when you look, or you have the ability to look really, really good with a lot of detail, as you can in Second Life, means that you can be very much wrapped up into how you look and how other people look, rather than the person that they actually are. And because I've been in virtual worlds where people have very similar avatars, and there is very little to differentiate between them apart from their name. And how do they get around it? They talk to each other. And you can always tell when people have come into Second Life from those kind of worlds because of the way they talk, the way they interact. They have a willingness to be more outward going and talk to other people rather than, metaphorically speaking, sit there with their arms folded, chewing on a wasp expression on their face and not saying a word, which is no use to anyone.
Yeah, and it's actually because of what you're saying. Because, for example, in an MMORPG, if you play a female character, you might get the occasional like whisper or I am or whatever. So you look great or whatever, but it's like you literally are selecting from a limited pool of options, you know. So yeah, I mean, you can be praised on the cosmetic options that you're, the cosmetic choices that you're making, but it let's say that it's less meaningful than in a place like Cassell where you can do just about anything.
Yeah.
So and obviously that creates the problem you're describing. Like, being having an attractive avatar gets your foot in the door. Ultimately, if people message you, it's gonna come down to what you do after that, right? But
Yeah.
yes, I think they wouldn't even approach you in the first place if the avatar was unremarkable. Like if you're running around on an avatar welcome pack avatar, then it's still gonna be more about the communication. But otherwise, yeah, it definitely has an effect.
Somebody asked me if I was divorced, married actually, if I was married when I was at the Leluca Steam. And I thought, wow, after 3 lines.
Yeah,
But
that's
didn't
actually
miss
been the same. I
anything.
think the shopping sim where I've gotten the most weird stuff has been at the Lilotka sim. I don't know what that's about, but
But
yes,
I think
100%.
guys just go there to pick up.
Well, yeah, but why don't you go to, let's say, I don't know, the Legacy store or wherever? Like, you could go to several other places, and some guys do, but it feels like very often, like the Lelutka one is the one where I've gotten the most attention, and I don't know why that is. And I don't think it has anything to do with your avatar looking good or bad. It's just if you're female and the more or less average avatar, you're gonna get attention.
It's because you don't look normal.
Yeah.
You're not ugly. Um, what, you didn't miss anything with that, dude? It was just funny that after 3 sentences, I had to reveal, my whole real life situation. Which I don't
Oh,
mind
yeah,
saying
it
it,
gets
but
super
it
weird.
just, not to a stranger that I've just met in a random sim. Like,
I
what would
find
I
it
tell
I
you?
find it I find it very hypocritical sometimes that so many people like to go into your profile and find out as much as they can about you. Yet if you look at their profile, it's empty. And they expect you to prove who you are and where you are and tell them what you're doing and where you are and the sort of person you are. They'll potentially at some point fairly rapidly ask for some sort of pictures of what you actually do look like in the real world. They want some sort of validation that you are who you actually are. But yet when you look at what they've got, they have a picture of a pixel avatar with no dialogue, no details, no nothing basically about them in the slightest. Those are the people which I think are just basically there to judge other people and just go through profiles. I don't think they're very sociable in their own right at all. But it's a shame that there seem to be getting more and more and more of them in Second Life now, which is a real pity because clearly, you don't come to Second Life to be judged by people. You come to Second unless you really want to be, the social media animal that goes out buying lots of things there and looking the best they possibly can, and then you want everybody to think that you're looking great. And maybe some people get some gratification out of that, It's a shame that so many other people just come on and all they want to do is look at your profile and judge and decide who you are without even talking. And that's a shame. Just my 2 pennyworth.
Yeah.
It was just interesting. Like I would still, I'm still surprised. Like, you know, you start a conversation. Like, I don't mind people starting a conversation, which is great. I mean, this is what you should be doing. But it went from, "Hi, you look pretty," and then, "Are you married?" "Oh, I bet you're married in real life," or something like that.
Yeah.
It was
It's very
just,
awkward. Yeah.
yeah.
So I was actually standing around at Oh My. I was actually tapped out, and someone IMs me, and they're like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?" And they're like, "Do you get on voice?" I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, second conversation ever, like second message ever, and you're trying to get me to do like voice ERP or whatever. It's the weirdest stuff. Like, people do the wildest things.
Yeah. But they're looking, as I say, they're looking to see and get as much into your real world as they possibly can without letting you into any of theirs. You effectively, yeah, they're always preying on you in a sense. And I'm always very wary of people that do that. Yeah, you're probably right. They may well be cheating on their significant other at the same time too. It's just well, you're talking in terms of the avatar. I'm not talking about avatars. In fact, I tend to regard avatars as a reflection of the person behind it. So I don't even think of them as avatars at all. No, I'm actually referring to the profiles. So, you know, tell us something about you on your profile, and they'll go in and they'll make all their presumptions and their judgments about you based on what you've got in your profile, and demand more information about you if they can't find it in your profile. Yet when you look at theirs, there's nothing. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a seller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the
Anyway,
second life.
we've been here nearly 2 hours again. Like we have to do these things every week, Chris. Yeah, I guess it might be a good time to sort of wrap it up a little bit on terms of what we've got here. There's a lot of new things coming out in Second Life, I know, very shortly. There's a bit of a mind shift moving away from the Thanksgiving sales side of it into the great, weird and wild and wonderful world of Christmas. So we've got that coming over the hill. There's some few changes, few new things happening. I know in Pris's world, which will be manifesting themselves in some of the things that she posts online in the next few weeks, and I'm really looking forward to those too. So we've got that coming. And in the meantime, if you want to stay abreast of all these developments, and I say this every time, and sorry, Pris, you know what I'm going to say, please tell your friends, please like, subscribe, share this stream with your friends. Please don't hold back. Please, talk to us, engage with us, comment on what you're saying. It's great to hear from you, and it's because of the people that are listening in and tuning into these kind of evenings that we have, that Pris, it makes it worthwhile for Pris, and long may that continue. We know that there are just over 2,000 subscribers sitting on this stream right now. We know that there are probably at least 3 times that number actually picking up the amount that we've got there. And guys, if you're out there and you're one of those people, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then we'll be good to see you.
Okay, just before we go, I have to say, so I'm not doing any videos at the moment, although I do have a few shorts that's coming up if I can get the time to film them. I do have, so we continue the podcast. I have a big project coming up, I think in a couple of weeks. Hopefully I'm ready in a couple of weeks. And then I will have the end of year video like I did last year, just a bit different, but it will be there.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then
Well, we're looking for.
one video ending the year with all the plan for next year. And yeah, so just the podcast would be a regular. But yeah, my other videos are just on schedule when I have.
Long may it continue.
Huh?
Long may it continue. I'm looking for. I say long may it continue, Chris. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know I'm quite excited by some of the things that we've talked about, which I know are coming. And I'm not going to say the Celia Thunder, but I'm quite excited about what's coming too. So it'd be great, as I say, if everyone could stay with us on this wild journey. And looking forward into the season of Goodwill that's coming.
Yeah,
So,
I'm actually going to do it as a premiere. We've got a premiere feature in second half. I have no idea what it does, but I'm going to use that anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it does, but yeah, so I'll probably do it on the weekend, so that's easier for everybody else as well. But but anyway, that's what happens.
Sure thing. Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in today, and we shall see you next week. And obviously, if you have any topics or things you want me to discuss, you can always message me anytime.
All right.
See you all.
Till next time, everybody. Good night from me, and it's good night from them.
And thank you for Josh joining us, and Zia. Bye. Can find my button and stream. Yes. Okay, we're done.